Welcome back to Mix It 3. Testosterone is a hormone that both men and women have. Over time, your T levels will begin to drop. For some, that happens at a younger age.
That's right. Natalia and Cliff spoke with Dr. Jed Ballard on how much is too much, T-level boosters, over the counter, and a lot more.
We are with Dr. Jed Ballard. Good to see you again, sir.
What's up, y'all?
Thanks for joining us here.
Great to be back.
The subject is testosterone. We all know it's a hormone, but a lot of people don't know what it really does to the body. So let's break it down. What is testosterone?
Sure. So testosterone, a lot of people think of testosterone and they think of people like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, these big, massive, hunking bodybuilders. But all of us, males and females, have testosterone, and it's a very vital hormone for living a good and full life. So a few things it's going to do. One, it is very important in building muscle. Everyone kind of gets that part. Another one, though, is important for bone density. So it's going to help you prevent things like osteoporosis, breaks in older years. And then it's also very important for your sex drive. So if your T is really low, your testosterone's low, male or female, you're just not going to have as much desire to have sex, which can have some huge relational, you know,
makes sense.
Right. Yeah. Problems, complications, whatever, from either partner. So,
if you get to this point, you might want to do the testosterone replacement therapy. So what can you tell us about that?
Sure. So TRT is becoming exceptionally popular for the reason it works. And I'm not entirely against it. My mild quip with it is someone can basically emulate my decades of living right. I'll catch up. But other than that, you know, that's my own pride. Other than that, there's a few concerns I have with it. You can become a bit dependent on it. Any hormone in the body is going to work on feedback inhibition, meaning the more of it your body sees, the less you're stimulated to produce on your own. So if you're taking exogenous or anything outside of what you're making, your body is going to produce less of its own. So if you came into some instance, your insurance ran out, you're traveling, et cetera, or you couldn't get it, your testosterone will go down much lower than it would have before you started it. So that's kind of one of my bigger issues. Also, you know, you are very dependent on your physician to kind of tinker with that correctly to get you in the right range. And there's some risks like increased chance of blood clots and some other things. But overall, I'm not against it. I just think it's smart to optimize your lifestyle factors first to see if you need it, because those actually make a huge difference.
So, for instance, those commercials that we see that are geared towards maybe the older men, they are effective. However, it's still kind of counteractive.
Correct. Yeah. Nothing in life really comes with a clean win. You know, so again, absolutely effective. It's just there are some drawbacks to it. Right. And to me, it makes way more sense to optimize your own levels, see where you're at, and then kind of make the decision.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that. Some natural ways to boost your testosterone.
Yeah. So natural ways to boost it. First, let's talk a little bit on what a lot of us are doing to decrease our levels, because as you might imagine, they kind of go hand in hand. So killers to testosterone, sort of in order. Poor sleep absolutely shreds your T. So for example, they did a study, just 1 week of 5 hours a night of sleep decreased testosterone levels 10 to 15%, which is a pretty big jump.
I am in so much trouble.
Yeah, right. I mean, and I can say personally, like, you know, not to get too personal, but Ranger School, during that time, I was probably averaging 2 hours of sleep a night for about a month straight, or 2 months straight. Wow. It was horrible. But it's the only time in my adult life I can remember not ever thinking about sex. I just didn't care. Right. And it was also the weakest I've ever been in my adult life. You know, you come into it all strong, fit, trained up. By the end of it, it's like 10 chin-ups was hard for me, which is rare for me. You know, so very much has a factor on that. So poor sleep, really big. Improper training, and we'll talk a little more about that later, especially things like endurance athletes. If you're overtraining, that absolutely zaps your T. And you can kind of feel that too. Endurance athletes get into that. People that are like really trying to lose more weight than their body set point, you know, they're just going really hard, not eating much, keep on going to where you feel like it's, you know, you feel worn out all the time. And then other ones are just the excesses. Excess body fat, excess stress, excess alcohol. And that's dependent on how much excess you have.
So that's a negative.
Yeah. Those are the negatives.
Really quick, what are the positives?
So the positives, fix your sleep. You know, 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep a night. Okay. Definitely boost your T. Eating a good diet, you want magnesium, zinc, omega-3s, D3, so fatty fish, leafy green vegetables, legumes, that'll kind of hit all those things. and then kind of get rid of your excesses, which is going to be, if you have excess body fat, bring it down.
Right.
If you're drinking too much, bring it down. And eliminate the dumb stress in your life, like just leaving for places on time and things like that. And your training. With training, it's quality over quantity or intensity over volume. You want big, heavy movements, but you don't want long workouts. Your workout should last maybe 45 minutes to an hour 15 total. Otherwise, you're probably going to feel overtrained.
All right.
Okay.
Great things to keep in mind here when you're trying to build up that testosterone. Do it the natural way if you can.
Natural first. Natural first.
All right. Dr. Jed Ballard, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Keep that tea up, y'all. It's more fun.